and welcome to another episode of Amputee Outdoors. I'm your host Glenn. Today we're going to go to Annette Lake and camp overnight, solo camping, and it's supposed to rain, so we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a fire going, cook up a meal, and enjoy the quiet and peace of the forest. So come along with me on the solo camping trip to Annette Lake. I chose Annette Lake as it's just over a half-hour drive from my home, only about 3.5 miles to the lake from the trailhead, and the elevation gain is a paltry 1,800 feet. As you make your way up to the Palouse to Cascades Trail, keep an eye out for an unusual concrete artifact on your left. I'm assuming this is a remnant of the railroad system that once went along the Palouse to Cascade Trail, but I could be wrong. Once you've crossed the Palouse to Cascades Trail, you'll find that the trail steepens. Volunteers have built stairs and bridges up some of the steeper parts and across the riskier stream crossings. Well, this looks like a pretty good campsite right here. I've got a couple of trees. I can set up my rainfly, my hammock. And I've got a great view of the lake, easy access to the water supply. Yeah, I think this will be a good campsite for the night. Now it's time to set up my camp. Well, it seems like I got here just in time and got my rainfly set up just in time because it's June 1st in the Pacific NorthWET, which means it's raining. But the rain is a little bit warmer than it was earlier in the year, so that's better, I guess. But anyway, when you are camping out here in the Pacific NorthWET, the first thing you always do is set up your shelter, your rainfly. Even when I've used a tent, I've brought a rainfly with me and set it up over where I'm going to have my tent, so that I've got an area where I can sit and be dry, cook my food, and sit outside of my tent, instead of having to huddle inside my tent and be all miserable. Hammock camping like this is preferred because I've got room, I've got some space, and hey, you know, at my age, sleeping on the floor, I don't care how thick that pad is. It hurts the back. It just hurts. Hammocks? It's like sleeping on a cloud. Well, I guess I'm going to set up my camp chair and maybe see if I can get a fire going and maybe cook up some food and have a beer. Now that I've got a good fire going, I can put on a pot of water and cook up my lasagna with meat sauce. Good stuff. Okay, yep, that's boiling, okay. Right. Smells good. And with this highfalutin meal, I got my highfalutin Rainier beer. When there ain't no beer, I drink Rainier. Sitting by a fire, by a mountain lake, listening to the rain on the tarp. It's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. That's one of the nice things about coming out camping. Is just listening to nature. Enjoying the cold beer. A warm fire. It's the simple things. Those times when you get to disconnect from all that stuff that stresses you out and just relax and enjoy those simple things. The fire's burned down and Out of beer. It's getting dark. So I guess it's probably time to get to bed. Get up early in the morning, have some hot porridge for breakfast. Get an early start on the day. It is beautiful here. So it's first light, but of course first light is 5 o'clock in the morning. That's a little too early for me. I'm going to consider first light to be 7-ish. Yeah, 7-ish. Well, it's 7 o'clock. I guess it's time to get up. So, today being so very, very wet, I'm going to be using my alcohol stove to heat up my water for my porridge. It just sits in this little canister here. Little Espit alcohol stove. Great little thing. And the rain seems to have supplied me with some water already, so I'm good to go there. So let's get this thing lit and cook up some breakfast. So what I'll often do whilst my water's heating up is pack away some of my stuff. I've already put my sleeping bag away, and I'm going to put away my bedroll and some of these other things I can't put away until I start putting away the rainfly and the hammock. So I'll just leave those until after breakfast. Oh, I added too much water. I don't have porridge, I have oats and blueberry soup. Never mind, it'll still taste good. Well, I've got just about everything packed up. I just need to get the hammock and the rainfly put away. So let's get that started. With the hammock all packed up, and hopefully I can fit it back in my backpack. Have you ever noticed you pack things up at home, everything fits in there just right, it's a little snug, but everything fits in there just right. And then when you're breaking camp the next day, things don't fit in there just the way they did when you were at home. Very frustrating. All right, let's get this rainfly done. Okay, so I'm all packed up. I've done my walk around, make sure that there is nothing left behind, leave no trace. So it's time to head out and head home. I hope you've enjoyed this little excursion on June 1st, where it's all rainy and damp and cold, because it's the Pacific NorthWET, because I've enjoyed it. I had the chance to kind of disconnect from the stresses of life for a little while, relax, and enjoy the simplicity of a camping trip by a mountain lake. It's beautiful. See you out there.